What is up, rivals? Welcome back to yet another episode of Rival Kingdom. My name is Sawcasm, and today we're gonna take a look at one of my favorite ancients and dragons as of recently. This is Talasin. First of all, look at him. All right, he's spitting some super lightning hot fire breath out of his mouth, and I don't think it's like an epic rap or anything. He's just some super hot fire lightning breath. So first of all, the first thing to note with Talasin, other than the fact that he's a dragon, is that he's an epic, which means his level cap is a little bit higher than a lot of the other ancients. So that means that he's going to be able to get to a higher level. His skills are going to be able to be stronger for the most part. Now, early on, does that mean that you can't level up some other cool ancients like Nocti, Nyrax, and stuff like that? No, you absolutely can level up whatever ancients you want, and you feel free to use them. But in the long run, I feel like the epic ancients, because they do have a higher level cap, will be a better investment. So this first spell is Lightning Shield. Reduces all damage taken to 50% and grants total immunity to spell towers equipped with the Arc Lightning for 11.2 seconds. Now, first of all, the spell tower immunity is pretty negligible, because when do you really see a Arc Lightning spell tower? Pretty much never, and even if you do, it's not that big a deal. Pretty much the easiest one to deal with. But at 50% damage immunity, you could see how that could be absolutely ridiculous on stuff such as maulers, soldiers, or just anything in general. 50% is quite a lot. Second spell is Magnetic Pulse. Deals damage and disables buildings in an area for 4.5 seconds. So this is really awesome. It's like a mini version of a 4-Veil spell, except I don't believe 4-Veil's 15 mana spell. Basically, it's the freeze one. It freezes pretty much the entire base. But this, it does it in a much smaller range, but it costs 5 less mana, and plus it deals a good amount of damage as well. So pretty good overall. I really love this spell as a 10 mana spell, and this 15 mana spell also awesome. Volatile Current blasts a target for an immense amount of damage and nearby structures by about half that. If destroyed within 10 seconds, the building awards 1 additional mana, and this spell is recast on a nearby target for no cost. You can see how that could be pretty much awesome if you get it right away, because you can use it on one building, you take out that building, it can potentially chain throughout the whole base, and you can use 15 mana to do a ridiculous amount of damage throughout a whole base, potentially. Now, in theory, it sounds really good, but it doesn't always hop to other buildings as consistently. It is kind of sporadic, and the range for it isn't very good. But anyway, with that said, now that we went over a general overview, by the way, he is also a dragon. His dragon power is he does sweep over the base, deals high damage, so pretty much raw DPS. And as a dragon, he does spit out some pretty high raw DPS. But let's get into some attacks with him. Okay, so it's a pretty simple base. I don't know why his base looks so easy for a Stronghold 12. I don't know what the heck this dude is doing. But anyway, what we're going to do is do a pretty simple attack. Let's actually change up our troop composition a little bit. Let's go for something ridiculous here. Let's go for one squad of mana hunters. Ooh, get him fancy over here. But anyway, what we're going to do is attack, place down our maulers, followed by our, let's throw our mana hunters over here to get all that extra mana. And let's place our dragon down. Oh, of course, I use mana hunters, and they go for the gold smelter. I want you to go for the mana. But anyway, our second spell here is going to be able to lock down the back line, such as the catapults, potentially the arrow launcher. That's well, we should have used it on, but we didn't. But anyway, we can use our first spell to get a damage reduction on these troops, and you see they're going to be able to soak damage like bows. These troops over here barely even taking damage because we do have the paladins with them. So you just place down another one of this, and you see how it locks down the buildings and really allows us to deal a ton of damage. Now for the final spell, we place it on a building. Oh man, it does have a cast time, so you want to keep that in mind, because if you do use it too late, obviously you won't get the effect of it. But you can see how it spreads and deals a ton of damage to the remaining buildings. Let's get to the next attack. Okay guys, here we go. This is a crap ton of gold. So first of all, what I'm going to do is use Talasin as a dragon. Like I said, he does deal a ton of raw DPS. Now this could be a downside, because he's going to be able to destroy buildings a lot faster. And when he destroys it, he's going to fly into range of stuff such as this watchtower over here. And a lot of times that could be a negative for you. But it also is good in the sense that it just deals a ton of raw damage, but we also aren't going to be able to charge up as much raw, or as much dragon power rather, even though as I said that we did just get another one of our dragon power. But anyway, you can see the downsides of it, you get the point, but he does a ton of raw damage. So we're going to place out our troops here. Let's save our mana hunter for let's save our mana hunter for a bit. So we're going to place our damage reduction spell. Now what I noticed recently about these AoE spells, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like there's only a certain amount of troops it can actually affect. Now this may just be in my head and I'm not sure about this, but that's how I felt recently about it, but I don't know. I definitely need to experiment more with that before I can say. But anyway, grabs a place down, mana hunters place down. Now for the final spell. Once again, no, use it too late. What an epic fail. Oh, it still did hit over here. Okay, totally intended. But you could see, oh, it did jump over here. Sometimes it doesn't jump, you know, over a certain distance, and sometimes kind of unreliable. But you could see here where we didn't even place down a second one, and it took out a huge majority of the buildings and allowed us to really easily take out that base. Super awesome. Okay, so a different way you could use Talasin other than placing him first is ooh, free true portal. Thank you, buddy. You could actually use him just simply, let's place that mana hunters right on that. You can use him simply for the raw damage because he does do so much. So instead of using him kind of first to deal out some initial damage, what we could do is use him to deal a lot of damage to the structures over here once, of course, he takes down that extremely important gold smelter. But yeah, so we're gonna use this over here, but I'm talking about as a dragon, by the way, guys, not necessarily as an ancient in this particular situation. Of course, him as an ancient also does a lot of damage, and he does have cool crowd control abilities that make him even better. And yeah, we're in trouble here. I'm gonna get taken out, but it's all good. That went pretty well. We were able to get most of the gold. Okay, so we switched to more of a realistic troop composition, swapped out the mana hunters. But anyway, we could also, of course, dragon snipe with Talasin. Like I said, I already stated the problems with him as far as dragon sniping. He's a little bit too strong, and it takes him longer, or you know, he's not going to be able to gain the dragon powers as quickly. Well, he is going to gain it as quickly, the same speed, but the thing is, he's not going to spend as much time on each target actually focusing it down and charging it up. So I hope that makes sense. A little bit confusing to say, but anyway, we already got most of the gold here, so you can see absolutely wrecking this stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Talasin is an absolute beast, potentially one of the best dragons in the game, if not the best dragon in the game, especially as an ancient. I absolutely love him. Now we'll have to see later on how good he gets and how good he actually is towards the end game, but right now at around stronghold 11ish, 12ish, 4.8k honor, he's just an absolute beast. Yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like rating on this video. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new for some more Rival Kingdoms. Thanks for watching. Peace!